Before the days of television and radio and the internet, legends and tales were the forms of entertainment that reigned. Tales would be whimsical, or they could have been scary. The effects was to provide a laugh or a shiver down your spine, to make you happy or warn you of things that may lead you down the wrong path. Case in point is this particular tale about a man who had a particular run-in with a particular person in a particular place. Let's examine a meme of yesteryear called The Legend of Cool Hollow. Located just 2 miles south of Welsh Run, Pennsylvania, is a road today named for a geographical location. That road is called Cool Hollow Road. This road runs through a little valley, flanked on both sides by tall, steep hills that grew up in trees of various species, which is where I'm at right now. A little brook flowed through this little valley to provide a peaceful and serene location for passers-by. The history passed down by Squire John Palmer says the name of Cool Hollow was given to this place by the housewives of the adjacent country, from the inveterate pomposity of their husbands to linger around and bask in the shade of the many large trees that threw out their cooling influences when they should be working to obtain the necessaries of life. To this day, the heavy tree cover, the steep walls around it, and the existence of the cool spring-fed stream does make this location a lot cooler than the surrounding areas. It also makes this place go dark a lot faster than the surrounding area once the sun begins to disappear in the west in the evening time. Many people lived and occupied areas around Cool Hollow ever since the settlers first arrived in this area. Homesteads and farms popped up all around, and the road through Coal Hollow became well-traveled. One of these people that occupied this area was a man named John Daley. John Daley was born of the settler William Daley. William Daley was originally from Ireland. Born near Bino, Pennsylvania on February the 22nd, 1813, John lived in the Welsh Run and Bino area since he was born. He had a wife named Rebecca who died in 1850, and John remarried to Isabella, and John Daley fathered 9 children in total. He was a veteran of the Civil War, serving the Union in the Grand Army of the Republic. John was known to be a very cantankerous man who fought his own brother over where their father would be buried at, and literally nobody would give in to the point that they just buried him alongside the road. He had a mean disposition and was an addict to excessive use of profanity and liquors. Drunk was a mood for John Daley. He was also known to be a wife-beater, harming poor Isabella on multiple occasions. His deplorable actions were well known in the area, and many felt that old John Daley would someday be taken down by a higher power for the man's wickedness towards his own wife. Towards the tail end of the year of 1876, John Daley, at the age of 63, was walking home from laboring on the Joseph Boyd farm near Cool Hollow. John reached the entrance into our famous hollow, which would have been right behind me here, somewhere in this little area. Suddenly, John was surprised at a sight of a figure floating towards him as if riding a cloud of steam down through the hollow. The figure was one we are so used to seeing, a man with hooves, horns, and tail, with a full head of steam, gliding across the air without sitting his hooves upon the ground. The devil, clothed in his majesty's garb and regulation paraphernalia, stood before the wicked John Daley. John was so horrified and scared that once he reached his home, he was sent into fits of rage, seizures, and psychosis. He began to see things. For months, delusions incapacitated the once strong and wicked John Daley. While being taken care of by the very wife that he so abused, John thrashed about and languished in agony for months. Then, by the consent of the higher power, as stated in the 2nd chapter of Job, John Daley's attacker in Cool Hollow finally claimed his special victim and cast him into a swoon from which John Daley never recovered. John Daley died a horrible death on March the 24th, 1877, at the age of 64. The devil finally claimed his victim and sent him on to hell. This short story may be just that, a story. As we cannot always trust what we see on the internet, the people of the 1800s could not always trust what they heard at the tavern, or the general store, or the post office. Did John Daley actually meet the devil, dressed in his majesty's garb with hooves and all? Or is this story merely a fabrication to scare children and young adults so they don't grow up to be wife beaters? We will truly never know. But what we do know is the man, John Daley, did indeed exist, as you can see from his tombstone right here. Though we have no proof of his personal demeanor, and the location he supposedly met the devil can also be identified as a real place. Squire John Palmer, the original recorder of this story, was convinced that the story was a hoax. With that being said, I will let the audience be their own judge on what is real and what is not real. But hoax or not, John Daley meeting the devil is still a story deserving of a retelling.